Capricorn.
Hello Capricorn, this is your October forecast for 2013 and we have a new month. This month I think you're going to love. Why? Because the sun is in your ruling house, the 10th house, the Capricornian house, but in the sign of Libra. So that tells me that this month you're going to be balancing your career, looking at what works, what doesn't work, shoring things up and finding the proper balance. The sun is going to allow you to really shine now in your career, so you might get a few applauses and pats on the back, and that is something done for well work done. And you deserve that because nobody works as goal-oriented as you. You dedicate your energy. You know, not just the short term, but even long term. You have the longevity to get yourself through there and up to that mountaintop. So the new moon is also going to be in this very same area, and we have that on the 4th. So for you Capricorn, especially because this area is so important to you for the most part, is to plant seeds of how it is you want to find that perfect balance in your work life. And what is the opposite balance? Because it's going to balance something. So it's not just what you work with in your career, but balancing it between work and also the home. Because your opposite sign is the 4th house, and this is home and family matters. And maybe some of you might feel that you've been working too much, dedicating too much focus there, and now you have to shift the focus also to family members. So this is for you this month to meditate upon and also put in some positive affirmations. Then we have Mercury. Mercury's in the 11th house, which also Venus and Saturn is. And Mercury is now communicating a whole lot here, at least until the 21st, where it will be transiting before it retrogrades. We got that retrograde going on again. And but for you, I think it's going to work out because for you, with your career, you are affiliated with certain groups, especially now at this time with Saturn and Venus there. So Mercury will communicate, set up contracts, networks, and whatnot, and I see you busying yourself. It's also an area for with friends, also your hopes and dreams. So I see you mentally being very charged here in October, and make sure you get everything done that you need to have done before the 21st. If papers, contracts with groups or foundations or whatever the deal is for you, set that up now, and hopefully try to sign before the 21st. We always want to kind of give it a few days before it turns, so I'd say sign anything important there at least up to the 17th or 18th, and then step back. And if you can, and try to refrain from putting your name on paper till after the 21st of November when it goes direct. And these retrogrades are always even worse just on the dates where they turn, because the energies are going in like both directions. So I'd say if you can hold off signing anything to the end of November from October 15th, then you're in a very, very good safe mode. Okay? But Mercury here is trying to find depth. It's transiting through Scorpio, so you have a penetrating mind. You're not just wanting any superficial answers or communications or with meetings. You will be the one asking those questions the others only think, but you will actually verbalize them and to get to the bottom of things. And this is good until the 21st. Then you'll see when it retrogrades, what is it going to do? Well, it's still going to cover that 11th house. So if you had talks earlier in the month, you might see that when it retrogrades, you'll go back over those talks, maybe with those key people involved, and reconfigure or renegotiate or retweak something. And don't see it necessarily as a delay. always tend to do that. It's like, oh, everything's delayed. We got a Mercury retrograde. But don't necessarily see it just as a delay, because positively it's looking out for you. How can you improve whatever contract or whatever discussion you had with a friend or whoever is involved? These are important things. Mercury is just looking out that you can improve whatever deal you have on the table. Okay, so it will give you 3.5 weeks to do so. After it goes direct again, because it's going to go from the 11th back into the 10th house of career. This is why I'm thinking it's something affiliated with your career and those groups you work with, because it's going back into the 10th. Then it's going to turn around, go direct back through the 11th. And this is when you're going to see, you're going to start picking up momentum again on whatever those deals, contracts, and so forth were. Saturn here is trying to stabilize your influence, your know-how, your integrity, and your authority within these groups. They're looking to you for guidance. So a lot of you Capricornians, you're growing in status. You've already had this Saturn go through your 10th house, so you've proved yourself, but now you're taking on a little bit more leadership. So they're looking to you for what answers you might hold. And Saturn's doing you a great favor being in this area, even though you might feel also that it's limiting too. What is it limiting? Well, it might be limiting some extra time to be with friends, which this house represents, due to the pressure that Saturn is giving you. It might limit you for being able to kind of live out your hopes and dreams. That might have to be, set aside a little bit until Saturn is done here in this area. But regardless though, Saturn does have higher intentions for you in this area, so don't let go of them. Just kind of place them simply aside a little bit. Venus here is allowing you to socialize though, and it has been here throughout September, which has been a great time to kind of catch up with before you turn busy again. It's going to be with you until the 6th. After the 6th, it's going to go take a hiatus in the 12th house. So enjoy yourself this first week of October. And Venus, of course, rules love. Love is passion. It is in the sign of Scorpio. So enjoy it. It's going to move into Sagittarius on the 6th. It will be there for a while, and you will just see that at that point you're going to turn that same passion you've had out there, you're going to turn it inwards, and you're going to reflect a lot. Sagittarius loves to reflect on those higher realms, those higher dimensions, and you're going to be questioning a whole lot about the path that you've been on this whole last year, because 12th house is always summing up the whole annual journey of Venus. And you will see where you started out last year at this time, what you set out to do, what you achieved, what didn't come together, and perhaps why. And you will be questioning those things. And it's these internal questionings, inner conversations. I always love to say conversations with God, a period for you. Then we have the transformation still going on in this first house, and not going to mention too much about it because it's going to be there for a long, long time, Capricorn. But I would like to say that Saturn right now is kind of powering up with, there's a sextile here. So you might feel like you're getting more support from either higher places, or groups can come in with their knowledge and know-how to kind of support you and what it is you're doing. So that's a positive, okay? You're starting to see now that the power of Pluto can be positive and transformative and bring you up to that transcendent state. Mars has been in Leo, and Mars is really happy in this sign because it is a fire fellow sign, and it's been in your 8th house, so you might have throughout September been looking over numbers and figures and commissions and royalties. Maybe have had some talks with banks or mortgage people, insurance people, just to see where you're at, or maybe tweaking something there. But the 8th house is also the house of intimacy, since it is the house of Scorpio, so you might have felt that this September time has been good for you, and the first 2 weeks of October will hold the same energy as they're in September. So it's an intimate, private, personal time as well, passionate time. And then it's going to move into the ninth house on the 15th, which is more going to go towards you and working with higher ideals. You might take a course, reaching for new information, affiliating yourself with foreign people and places. Some of you might be set up to take a journey, and in that case, it may not just be to the neighboring city. It might be to some other, shoreline abroad. And so in that case, that should be a very good journey for you. Mars likes action and activity, and you should also find some nice culinary places to go eat, because this is in the sign of Virgo, and Virgo rules, how we eat and diets and so forth. So some of you might even just, take a nice vacation just to get back into form and shape. Then we have the full moon. This is on the 18th, Capricorn, in your 4th house for family, traditions and who you are, the past, childhood, your inner core of who you are. And you might just feel that this full moon is going to illuminate this area. And the 4th house also rules the mother, so some of you might have something to do with your mother, especially strong this month. And the new moon is, like I said, in the 10th house. So whatever was initiated on October 4th, you might see something of that come together as a package here on the 18th. Well, also we have, on the 6th is a day I would like to mention, October 6th, when Mercury is going to have a little dance here with Pluto in a 6th house. That is a harmonious aspect. Mercury communicates, Pluto transforms. What are you going to communicate and what will be transformed? Well, it's coming from the area of friendships or organizations or some kind of group. This communication here on this day, you want to pay attention to who it is you're talking to, because they might hold a golden key for you that can open up or advance something for you on a very personal, private level, since it's the 1st house being aspected from it. And this is the very same day that Venus is going to be moving into the sign of Sagittarius, which is Jupiter ruled. And that is going to be an expansive, fun time. It's a great day. You will feel that perhaps news coming to you this day is cheerful and abundant in some fashion. And especially because Mercury is also going to ground some situation, some contract, or Saturnian type structure around you. So it's going to lock something in. So the 6th, this day, is very important for you. The 10th through the 12th, well, we got a little miscommunications, perhaps misunderstandings, or things we're trying to reach for and bring together that may not come together. There's challenges. We got a few squares there, so lay a little low here on these days. However, on the 16th, we got Venus and Uranus in a surprise aspect. And we love when Venus and Uranus gets together, because we don't know what it will bring. And that's the whole idea. Now, for you at that time, your Venus will be in the 12th house, and your Uranus is coming from the 4th house. So it might just be something family related, or coming from a family member, or it might be you surprising them with something here that you feel is very close to heart and spiritual, because this 12th house is who you are on inner levels, and something that you've been contemplating for a while. Then we will end this month, Capricorn, with Mars and Pluto together, and this is an energy that you like. Why? Because the energy of these two together, they can push mountains, and that is what works for you, because you are always so very result-oriented, and this has the potential to move you, shunt you exactly where you need to go. So watch for people and circumstances on this very day, and how you incorporate your energies with them. You can really accomplish a whole lot here. This is October 31st. So this is pretty much what we have for you this month, Capricorn. It's always a delight to meet with you every month. And next month, at least, our videos will be on this page, on the home page, We don't know what's happening with YouTube quite yet. If it's up and running, it will be posted to YouTube also. But if not, you'll always find it here on Zeitgists. So do listen to your moon and your rising sign before you log off, and I'll see you in November.